Lean in with Lisa, put her to the test. Lean in with Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's show. We have a great guest on today. He has been in many TV shows and films that you've seen. He played Spiros Vondas in The Wire, Mo in The Three Stooges, and you'll all remember him from the guy selling, he was scalping tickets, high holy holiday tickets to Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He is one of my best friends since I was, oh my God, Brooklyn days, 5 years old. Well, he's a little older than me, but anyway, we're going to be talking about some really good stuff, Brooklyn days, growing up, and his acting career. Welcome, Paul Ben Victor.
So reach out to Lisa every day.
We should let your audience know that I've known you since you were like 8 years old.
Let's see. No, that's actually incorrect. You have known me since I'm about 6 years old because I was in kindergarten and you were my line monitor.
All right. So is that okay to tell
And
your
at
your
PS
your fan?
oh, yeah, because everyone knows by now, if they do the math. I,
Don't
don't do the math,
leave the man.
except for except for all the accountants out there, and we know who they are. Um, so we went to PS 193 in Brooklyn. So we're both Brooklyn. You're a Brooklyn boy, I'm a Brooklyn girl. Paul, I
193
have 193.
Bedford Avenue.
Miss
All right.
Nitzberg. Miss Nitzberg. Okay, let's go
Yeah.
on. Um, but what is it like being a guy from Brooklyn and living out here in this gorgeous Topanga Canyon and doing all these movies and all these TV shows and you you're a household name. So what is it like? Are you still the guy from Brooklyn? Because I'm still the girl from Brooklyn. I mean, I'm living, out here and I love, my house, my this, my that, but I'm still the girl from Brooklyn. Are you
We're
still the
still.
boy from Brooklyn?
I think I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know any Brooklynites. Is that we are Brooklynites
Brooklynites. Yes, that's what
who
we
ever
are.
really lose it? Do we ever really lose it? I mean, I've talked to
Ho-
people and they
I
say
sure hope not, honey.
I don't think we ever really lose it. People say, "Where are you from?" I go, "I'm from Brooklyn." They go, "Oh, duh, should have known." I think that's something that we just sort of carry with us.
Right? But then again, here you are. You're doing you're working with De Niro, you're working with Scorsese, you're working with are you still that boy, that kid? How have you changed? I mean, people either change in certain ways. How have you changed?
I don't think I have.
You're famous. You're a famous guy.
Yes, I'm
Paul,
a little.
you get approached. What is it like when someone says, "Hey, let me have a selfie. Let me have an autograph." What is it like? What does it feel like? I want to know what it feels like.
Is that a song? Does it feel? Is that some chorus line or something?
What I
I
did
don't.
for love. Do you
Oh
do it
yeah,
for love?
there it is. I did it for love. I did it for love.
What I did
I
for love. Okay, I'll
did it
stop now.
for love. Let's do a little chorus now, a little Michael Bennett quickly.
What I did for love, love. Okay.
She
Um,
sings. She
wh-
sings. She
what do you?
dances. Radio
I do it
shows.
all. I have
Ladies and
everything. Yeah,
gentlemen,
there. I'm here. I'm a wife. Um, mother.
it feels like I just like I'm in the right in the middle. Sometimes it feels like I just started yesterday, and sometimes I feel like I'm about to retire. So it's a big yo-yo. I go up and down. Sometimes I just feel like I'm kind of in the middle. I go like this a lot. What's coming? What's coming next? I rub my hands
What's coming
together.
next?
About 10 years ago, I
Yeah.
started doing that. Most of the first 20 years, you know, what's the next job? I'm going to do this. Now I just kind of go, who's who wants who's gonna who am I gonna be? who wants me to be what next, you know? Yeah.
So speaking of what's coming next, you have something coming next. You
I
have
do.
something because you have something I think coming up. You had mentioned something that. What are you doing? Tell me what's coming up.
Well, the thing I'm very excited about is uh, Friday night, May 7th, is the Netflix premiere of the movie Monster, starring Kelvin Harris and Jennifer Hudson and Jeffrey Wright and ASAP Rocky and J.D. Washington and
What a
a whole cast
cast!
of
Mm.
incredible actors. And this was done a few years ago. So, like J.D. Washington, who's a movie star now, he had a cameo. And
Hmm.
ASAP Rocky, I'm just a huge fan of what he did in this movie. It's great. And I play a very aggressive uh, prosecuting attorney.
You're working with
Approach
Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson's in that.
Jennifer
Am I
Hudson and
right?
yes,
Oh
yes,
my God, great cast.
she plays the mom, and they're
Okay,
wonderful.
great.
Jeffrey Wright is
Yeah.
he's such a I'm a
And
huge
what's
fan.
next after that?
Well, I was recently approached and to do this role of the infamous mafia enforcer from Chicago from the '80s named Tony Spilatro. So he was
Why am I not surprised?
a little tough guy back in the '80s who had a horrible, very colorful death along with his brother, a bunch of mob. Well, here I'm telling the ending, but it's Google it, it's there. But anyway, I'm going to be doing Tony Spilatro alongside the wonderful Emile Hirsch and Ruby Rose and Harvey Keitel.
Ooh. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Harvey
Those
Keitel.
are Harvey is one of my favorites.
He's amazing. He plays the dad, and I'm very excited to be doing. Once this all comes together, we'll be be doing a scene with him. The last time I saw Mr. Keitel, I was auditioning for Quentin Tarantino's movie Reservoir Dogs, which Harvey was
Oh,
producing, and I was in there reading for I think the Steve Buscemi role, Mr. Pink or Blue or Green or whatever
oh,
those guys.
you actually auditioned for Reservoir. I didn't even know
Right,
that you did. I know that you did but you did True Romance with Quentin Tarantino, huh?
romance. I did. But I
What
read
was
for
that like?
back then. I was, we were just a bunch of guys. I was, you just show up. It's a ball game. You get in there and you put your suit on and you try to you try to get on base. I mean, everybody's just there. It wasn't like anything. You don't know when you're doing these things. I've been asked a
But you're
lot about.
surrounded by look at all these actors
I
that came out
know,
of that movie.
and I'm so glad I
It's
didn't know.
unbelievable. Dennis Hopper. Wasn't Dennis Hopper in that?
I was in the famous scene with him and Christopher Walken, basically a two-man scene, and it was me
The
and
two of the greatest.
it was amazing. It was Chris Walken, Dennis Hopper having their two-man. They went toe to toe with each other, and Gandolfini's in the background, and me and Kevin Corrigan, and a whole host of people, and it was incredible. It was incredible. I met Michael Rappaport on that, who we've all become good friends with over
Michael.
the years. And we became great friends. We've done a bunch of things together, including a play on Broadway in New York years later. We remained friends.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of an era. But what's weird is that I think we could all do this, especially in the entertainment business. I had no idea what I was doing, where I was. I mean, I knew what I was doing as an actor, I hope,
You didn't
but
realize how big it was.
I didn't realize how iconic it was. Yeah.
Because I remember I was doing the red carpet that night. I was doing some broadcast
You were
hosting
for the premiere
for the premiere. I was at the premiere of True Romance and I was on the red carpet. It was over at the El Capitan, I believe, on Hollywood Boulevard.
yeah, it was in Hollywood. Yeah, yeah.
And I got to interview Hopper and all those Christian Slater and all those guys. And I saw, I interviewed Tarantino and I'm going, my childhood friend is in this going to be on this big screen with this huge a phenomenal group of actors. I mean, Chris Walken. Can you do Chris Walken, by the way? Can you do Chris Walken? Because everybody I know does Chris Walken. Can you
You
do
know
him?
I do it with Chris. I do it
No,
with
no, you never
Chris.
did. No, you never did him for me. Can you do them for me?
I never done Chris.
Never did Chris. You did other people, but not Chris.
Really?
You
Yes,
got
I
to give
do.
me. You got to give us some Chris.
I do a little Chris.
All right, let's go.
Well, I tell you a story if you like. You want to know a story?
I want a story. Give me a story.
This is well, you got to know. We'll do a little Chris Walken segment. He's done some crazy things in his life, and I believe I worked with him twice. We did True Romance, and then we did Kiss Toledo Goodbye, which Rappaport was starring in, and
Mm,
we had a scene together. Me and Chris, we had a scene with a group of us. But I told that story recently, so I'm gonna tell you a different one. This is one that you hear like he's done. I believe he's done these crazy things in his life.
mm-hmm.
So so the story will be told. You know, like in the old westerns, you leave one guy alive, so he tells the story.
Right.
Thing. I
Yes.
think I think I know he's got to do these things. So anyway, he's upstate, God knows where, small town, doing a movie somewhere. And the word is, the rumor is that there's a haunted house in this
Okay.
town.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So he, again, I've heard this through a friend who I think may have been there or whatever. And he calls his driver on the weekend. He goes, hey, Jack, pick me up. Take me to the haunted house. So they go drive. They go to the
Great.
haunted house. They go to the haunted house. He gets out. They go upstairs. They go in. The door creaks open, and Jack's there, the driver, and wait here. Going upstairs. Chris goes upstairs. He's going from room to room to room to room, and Jack is down there, and he hears Chris poking around up there. All right, you ghosts. It's Chris. Come on out. Come on out. It's Chris.
I could see this.
Comes
I
back
could
down.
see
He's
this.
going room to room. Hey, ghosts. It's Chris. Finally, a few minutes later, he comes down. Get out of here. This house ain't haunted. And then I'm rehearsing for the Christmas. I have been rehearsing my Christmas tribute to Rudolph to Chris, and it goes something like this: Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, he had a very shiny nose. If you ever saw it, you'd even say it glowed. All the other reindeers, they used to laugh, call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any of the reindeer games. And I'll give you that much. Have me back for Christmas, and I'll do the rest.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's yeah, guys. That
That was
deserves
great. It was good.
deserves applause.
Good.
Rudolph, with your nose
Paulie,
so bright.
we can't get him. Okay,
Inside
let's
my
get the
sled.
music to play him off now.
Oh my
That
God!
was great. You know, what's wrong?
There's a
What happened?
little
A snake?
caterpillar.
What do you got?
A caterpillar
Oh, we had a snake
on my
outside.
leg. He's doing my sweatpants. Are you a fan?
Caterpillar. I can't
Have you
do it. I
seen
can't
Have
do
you
it. I
seen
can't
True
do him.
Romance with me and Dennis Hopper? Did you see
Oh
my
my
scene?
God.
All right.
Wait a minute. So do you are you in touch with Chris Walken at all or no?
No,
Do you
no,
still talk
no.
to the
And I'm
guy?
embarrassed
No.
if he ever sees these
Uh
things. So embarrassed because there's guys that really do them great. I have a decent. I have a mine's decent.
I think yours is great. You play so many Italians. You play so unbelievable, Paul. It's like unbelievable. Did you date? You know, we went to high school with a Gambino family girl. All the girls from the Gambino family. Did you like sleep with any of them? Is that how you became so Italian?
Wait a minute. The Gambinos went to Midwood.
They all went. Yeah, they went to high school with us.
Is
You
that
didn't know
true?
that? I thought maybe you might have dated one. Maybe got a little little.
No, I didn't.
No.
I was shy back then.
Okay.
But wait, Lisa, I remember once. What's that?
Kathy. One was Kathy. The other one was I think what was it? Marianne. Yeah, they all went to school with, and then the Banana Boys,
The
Tony
Banana Boys.
Banano.
I don't know if they were
Remember Tony
connected, but
Banano?
yeah, the Banana.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. You
but
remember Anthony
anyway, but
Banano?
I remember when we went outside once day to lunch, and there was at lunchtime there was a chalk mark of a guy like who had just been taken away and on Bedford Avenue.
Right. Wasn't that what? Wasn't that the
Yeah, it
Bananos?
was
Wasn't that the uncle?
there was somebody. It was probably an
That
uncle.
was
Yeah,
I was at Midwood. That was in
yeah.
high
His
school, right?
arm, he had
Yeah.
a chalk mark on the ground. I remember seeing it like 2 blocks
Yeah. Yeah.
over with this chalk
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah. That was. It
They
was one
they
of them.
sketched his body out. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Well,
remember that. It was one. It was definitely one of them. I want
we
to
had
know.
we
We were talking
definitely
about.
had we definitely had that in the neighborhood for sure. Yeah.
For all of you that don't know any, Paul's a little bit about his history. Paul, we had something in high school called Sing, and it was when the sophomore, juniors, and seniors would compete against each other, and uh, Paul directed all the shows, and you were phenomenal. You built all these sets, like they looked like literally like Broadway. I remember you were a senior and I was a sophomore, and you won. The seniors beat the sophomores, and you allowed us to be in. Then we competed against Lincoln High School and Sheepshead High School.
Right.
So you invited the sophomores to be in inter-school sing. So I got to be a star. I was a star in the castle with my gloves, white gloves.
You were in the castle in Sheepshead?
I was at I was in the castle. I was one of the stars
I
doing
knew
this. I
that.
was doing this.
Uh,
I did this for an hour. Isn't that amazing? Look at that.
yes.
So I have to thank you for that. And um, tell, do you remember
And
Sing?
we won. Well, you have to say, of course, we won the interschool sing as well.
We won
We
inter-school
beat out
Sing
the
because of you and Bennett. You and Bennett, you
two
did
years
an
in a row.
amazing job.
Mark Bennett.
I think Sing was the beginning for you because you didn't act, but you did direct. And I think I would love to see you direct something. Like if you could direct anybody in a movie, who would it be?
Well, if I could direct, I'm not a working director, but it's funny you say that because I have thought
You
recently
should be.
about doing. Thank you about doing some directing, but it wouldn't be about who. It'd just be about trying to do that. I actually love directing. I would love to direct theater. Is what I would love to
Well, you
do.
did. Have you? I thought you have already. Haven't you directed theater? Didn't you do? You directed me in Club Soda. Weren't you my
That's right.
director in Club Soda
Well, me and Michael Goldberg,
when
yes,
Barry
the late.
Manilow was in the audience?
That's right.
Yeah, our dear friend Michael Goldberg, who we lost, and I was on stage with you, and all of a sudden I look into the audience, and Barry Manilow was there, and that was just. I think I forgot my lines or something.
No, you didn't. You were
Something
great.
happened.
You were great.
Thank you. Really, you
You
think?
were
Thank
fabulous.
you.
You were
Thank
fabulous. You
you.
were fabulous.
I
Fabulous.
Yeah, we ended up talking to Barry after the show, and he said to us, "It looks like you made it." So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
you were right. No, you and didn't
um,
you had Chaz come down one night, didn't you? Chaz
I had
Palminteri.
Chaz Palminteri. Yes, Chaz came, and who else? I had a bunch of people come. I remember,
Yeah, that was
but
Club Soda. But the sequel to that is called The Good Steno, which I did co-write with my mom
oh,
and directed.
that should be on film. That needs to be on film, Paulie, and you need to direct the Good Steno.
Well,
So how do we do that? We got to get
I'm
that done.
I should have the little we're pitching it actually with my managers at Zero Gravity. We're pitching it as a TV limited series. So putting together a
Fantastic.
little package of that right now as we speak. Yeah.
You want to tell us anything about it or what it's about a little bit,
Oh
or would
yeah.
you
I
rather
mean,
keep it a little hush hush?
no. It's a great story. My mom is Leah Kornfeld Friedman. She is a playwright and a painter and an artist and a poet, many things. But she wrote a handful of plays that were sort of autobiographical, and we co-wrote. I helped to develop Club Soda, which you did, right? And then we
Yep.
wrote the Good
That's
Steno.
fun.
We wrote the Good Steno, which was based on her life as a stenographer secretary in the garment center in the 1940s, garment center jungle where men were probably more disgusting than they could ever be. And her boss Morty would try to get the models. It was a swimsuit showroom. It was a
Way before the
swimsuit
Me
show,
Too movement, people.
and it's sort of it's Me Too back then meets today. I mean, it's really about that. And
And there's music in it.
it has Sinatra is throughout. The big band era is definitely prevalent. There's a lot of Lindy Hops going on, but Morty, the boss, would try to get the buyers that came in from out of town to go into the back room with the models to, hook up with them, while the buyers' wives while my mother was on the phone at 17 years old getting the wives to go to the Broadway matinees so their husbands could be in the back room with these models. So, and of course, my mother sort of knew what she was doing, getting these
Your
ladies sort
mother
of.
could have been she could have been a madam.
She was a little 17-year-old madam at the time. So,
Unbelievable.
they
Leah
were-
Friedman was a madam.
and she couldn't say no to this job because she was making a whopping $28 a week, which helped pay
Unbelievable.
mom's rent and help, dad was out of work after the depression. It's an incredible story. So we're pitching it as a limited series at the moment, and it's exciting.
Well, I hope it goes. Well, good luck with that. I wish you a lot of luck with that. You were very close to your parents growing up, and still close. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that you lost your dad last year, and I'm sorry about that because he was really a special person. I had a huge fondness for Vic, and you know
I
that.
know. I know.
Um, we had a really cool connection, and
Yeah,
he was one of the biggest. He was the Jose Ibert of New York City. Tell them a
he
little bit
was a
about your dad. I want to hear about your dad. Yeah.
no. He worked at Kenneth's for 30 years, which was probably the beginning before Jose and before Jose or whatever, and before Vidal Sassoon. There was Kenneth because Kenneth's client
Right.
was Jacqueline Kennedy, and excuse me, and Dad worked at Kenneth's, and he didn't go on the road much, but he cut his huge. I mean, aside from, I mean, Liz Taylor was coming in there and all the big models, but he one day, Princess Grace Kelly was coming in, and I think
Oh my God.
Kenneth was supposed to cut her hair, and he wasn't available because he was either out sick or whatever it was, and they said, Mr. Victor, we have Princess Grace Kelly for you on the second floor, and he cut the princess's hair, and that was a wonderful story. But he was one of the top guys in New York in the
What a
'60s and
thrill.
'70s. Yeah, definitely. He was one of the
Well,
top guys.
Princess Grace, yeah, she was the most beautiful woman, one of the most beautiful in
Cut
the
her hair.
world. In the world.
Yeah, he cut her hair, and he was.
Unbelievable.
She
But he's
loved him.
also your dad also did a lot of of course she did because he was charming. He was very charming. And but you and your mom and dad always had a close relationship, and a lot of actors I find that are sometimes like estranged from one of their parents, for whatever reason. What what do you uh think is the reason why you have kept that closeness all through the years with your mom and dad? I mean, I've never met anyone who is as close to their parents as you are, and they've always been there for you, supporting you, and maybe that's it because they've always supported of what you want to do, what you always
Well,
wanted to do.
we're always, me and my mom, we're friends. We talk every day, but it's basically they're both the real deal artists. And you started saying it. My dad was a photographer as well. He was
Mm.
a master photographer. His work hangs in many museums. Um,
His work
you
hangs in
know,
my husband's office. My husband's office has Vic Friedman photographs all along my husband's walls,
yeah,
and people
yeah,
walk in and are blown away by it. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
incredible work.
Gallery. It's beautiful. Yeah, So he was a very unique, talented guy, and they both, these poor kids from Brownsville, Brooklyn, came out, and parents, immigrants, somehow they became these artists together, and neither of them made any fortune by any stretch at all. They didn't make any money. They made a few dollars here and there with their art, but they were both
Right.
brilliant and super talented, and so I always appreciated that, and it always and all of it inspired me to this day. My mom and my dad both, their blood is running through my veins, and it just inspires me to do what I do.
And your name, Ben Victor, is basically, tell us how that came about.
Well, it was in homage, it's paying homage to my dad. Um, I am Paul Ben Victor, and Ben in Hebrew means son of, so I'm Paul, son of Victor. And it was I
That's
wanted to
beautiful.
have a little bit of a unique stage name back in the 80s when I became an actor, so I'm Paul Ben Victor. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's such a beautiful story. Hey, Alan, I know you're a big fan of Paul's. Do you have any questions you want to ask him?
Very sweet.
Well, we were real
Alan's my
quickly,
producer. I have the best producer, Alan. Alan's the best.
and,
Go ahead.
and we were real quickly talking a house guest because I'm in Pittsburgh here earlier, and I mean that's like I don't know if you know that that's like one of the most like favorite, at least people my generation. Like I went to college in Pittsburgh, and I would say damn near every friend I made was a fan of that movie. Do you ever get someone mentioning that movie to you? Because I know it's kind of like I feel like it's a cult favorite because I don't meet anyone outside of town here in Pittsburgh often that's like a huge fan of that movie because for whatever reason. But it's Phil Hartman, you, Sinbad. That's as far as I'm concerned a legendary movie. Do you ever get any love for that one?
That's true.
All the time. All the time. Yes, for sure. And it's been great because they play it every Christmas. I think I think it's somewhat of a Christmas season kind of movie. Um, but yeah, it plays. It was a great one, and it was a great one to get. I'll tell you about the audition for that. Went in and read, and they were auditioning both the big guy and the small guy. Anyway, I went in and auditioned, and then I did my reading, and then I left. I said thank you, I'm out. But I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel like I did what I wanted to do. And I think Tony Longo was already in there, passed away recently. The other big guy from the movie.
Oh, the football player.
Yes, yes, he's passed
Yeah,
away recently. Tony was in there,
that's right. He
and
did.
I
Yeah.
think he was cast. I'm going to say that he was cast, and guys were coming in to read against him, and I was bouncing off his big stomach. And then I left, and some other guy came in to read after me, but I wasn't done. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I was done. So as the guy was coming in and saying, "Hi, I'm Joe Smith. I'm going to read next," I came back in the room. I took Joe Smith, pushed him out of the room because I wasn't done. I said, "Joe, wait outside." Wait. I opened the door. I said, "Wait, I'm not done." And he left. I said, "Let's do it again." And I did it again. And I remember the director telling me, "That's when we knew you had it." He said, "You were such a pushy little fuck that you came in there to do that. Who does that? Who comes in and kicks out the actor?"
Oh my God.
That was your part, Paulie. That was yours. That you were meant to get that part. You were meant to get that part. And didn't you eat a lot of hamburgers, McDonald's hamburgers, or is in that movie?
That's like the most McDonald's-tastic
Yeah.
movie of all time.
Exactly, but he did the McDonald's commercial. Paul,
Yeah,
did you do that?
yeah.
You did one of the biggest McDonald's commercials. So did they see you do that and then say, "We want you to come in and eat all these burgers"? What happened?
It was around. It wasn't the exact same time. My McDonald's campaign came after, about a year after,
Oh, it
actually.
came after. Oh, I
Yes,
thought it was before.
yes. In fact, when I was doing Houseguest, Randy Miller, Randall Miller, that was the director. Every take, he kept saying, "Do that thing." No. I would just say the line like normally. Like he go, "No, do that crazy thing." Like he kept wanting me to be like like Mo. You know what I mean? Which
Oh
is
yeah,
amazing.
Mo. Oh,
Which I ended up
amazing.
playing Mo in a TV movie. But he kept wanting me to like do it huge because that made him laugh. So I did the whole thing, like bursting veins popping out of my neck, almost every line, the whole movie. I'm like, it was way over the top, huge, way too big as far as I'm concerned. But he loved it, so I did what he wanted. And then a year later, we're hanging out, and the McDonald's commercials come out. I did this huge campaign for McDonald's for 2 years. Lisa will tell you, I did it for 2 years. We were the two guys in the Burgermobile in a big station wagon, an old like Woody station wagon with the Big Mac on top of it, trying to get tickets to the Super Bowl. And we ended up going to the Super Bowl and doing a commercial with, in real life, we went to the Super Bowl and we did a commercial with Jordan and Larry Bird. And Jordan ends up giving us, goes, hey, you guys looking for tickets? And we went, the harps played and the birds. We saw Jordan. He gives us his, I got 2 tickets for you. And, we're going underground. It's a fun spot. And
Have you guys seen that spot, Adam? Adam and Alan, have you seen that spot?
I was in that spot.
I
was an
Adam,
extra. I was an extra in the Super Bowl commercials when he was walking down the aisle 25 years ago. Yeah,
that was you. That was you. I remember
you.
You
can't really see me, but it is a weird coincidence that all these years later we meet. And I remember saying, "Oh my God, they were walking right next to me." I was kind of like near the aisle, and they walked down walking down to their seats. So I was just an extra that day in the Orange Bowl or Joe Robbie Stadium, one of those, wherever we shot.
Don't say just an extra. Those extras, you could do one thing and stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, not in the crowd, a Super Bowl crowd, but sure, maybe every once in a while you do get a shot. If it's a smaller section, sometimes you get upgraded. I've been upgraded to stand in and photo double here and there. But
and here you are. You're my co-writer,
and now
so you moved up. You moved up the ladder, baby.
Yeah,
we work together.
Right? Mm-hmm. You want to ask? Yeah, you want to ask? You want to ask Paul anything, Adam? Adam, you want to ask Paul a question?
I don't know if you wanted the game questions. 5 questions he's never been asked. That's kind of our goal here.
Oh, we're playing a game today. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well,
okay,
it's a challenge because he's a famous guy. He's been in thousands of interviews, and we just want to see if we can come up with 5 questions that he's never been asked. That's the challenge. And you can let us know if you've been asked these questions. You just let us know, and we'll throw it out. We need to give you 5 questions you've never been asked because to make it interesting for our guests, so they don't get bored. So, all right.
Let's. Are you ready?
I don't get
Paul.
bored.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
Right. We're good.
Okay.
Yes. We're gonna try. We're
gonna try this game, and Adam, you can start.
All right. Okay. I'll try one. Okay. Vin Diesel or The Rock, who would win in a pillow fight?
Nobody's ever asked me that. I swear to God, nobody has ever asked me that. That's incredible.
Well, I'm good at this. That's the challenge here.
Why do you think I hired him?
Yeah.
Well,
pay him the big bucks here.
I would have to say, I think it's pretty obvious The Rock's going to kick Vin Diesel's ass. He's twice his size. But I'm a big fan of both. And I worked with The Rock in a movie called Enemy of the State, I think. So, but yes. But I'd love to work with Vin Diesel. He was very impressive, that guy. I
actually met The Rock at Rite Aid.
I think The Rock's going to beat him in a pillow fight.
Okay, good answer. I went to school with The Rock. I was at UM during that time he was there. So
I touched his arm.
25.
I touched his beautiful big arm when we were at Rite Aid. All right, next question.
Go ahead.
Alan, you have one?
I mean, we're going to have to table that and hear about you touching The Rock's arm someday, Lisa, but I have a question that I don't think Paul's ever been asked.
Shoot.
Who would win? Here's another who would win in a fight question.
Okay.
But this is a legitimate fist fight. And I think both people pretty well, at least you've gotten into their minds because you've played them both. Mo Howard or Mussolini?
I've played them both. You're right. I have played them both. Who's going to win?
Wow,
Mo.
good question, Alan.
Mo's going to kick Mussolini's ass in 2 seconds. He's going to poke his fucking eyes out. and rip his fucking nutsack out. He's going down.
Paulie, you were so good as Mo. You were so fucking good as Mo.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, guys, do you agree with me?
Yeah, that's what I know him for. That blew it like anything else out because I don't watch. I'm not a drama guy or mafia shows guy, but I'm a huge Three Stooges fan. And he was like I thought he was. It was incredible,
To
incredible.
a T. To a T. Do you still have the wig?
I have a collection of wigs. Yes, I do. Yes, indeed.
Adam, another question?
Paul Ben Victor, what is your fourth favorite? What is your fourth favorite first name?
Butch.
Okay, all right. Because you did explain the whole name thing, but I did want to ask that because people got three
Ralph.
first names there.
Maybe
Okay,
Ralph.
Butch and Ralph.
Oh,
We'll call it a tie. All right. Tricks are for kids. Frosted Flakes are great. Have you ever eaten cold pizza for breakfast?
Probably 2 days ago.
Okay. Some people think that's gross, but that's That's good.
No, I'm gonna.
I have one. I have one. Okay. You're married to a much younger woman, a gorgeous, gorgeous younger woman. Does she ever introduce you as her first husband?
No,
Okay.
but we have strolled about through. Here's something she'll do. We'll be walking around, let's say New York City, right? And just to
Yeah.
tease me, sometimes just to annoy me, we'll pass just as people are passing us. She'll go, "Dad, stop it!"
I love it.
That's
Dad.
good.
And I bust up every time. Just as there are no, Dad. Would you,
Oh my God. I love it.
Stop being so obnoxious, Dad.
What happens when you're sitting in a restaurant and you start kissing each other? Does she say, Dad? Get the fuck off of me.
All right, I have a replacement question. All right, Paul, this is your type of movie. If they were making another Ocean's 11 movie and they added you to the cast, what would be your specialty? What can you bring to the team for the heist?
Well,
Good one.
not everybody knows this, but I'm a triple black belt.
There you go. All right, so you're taking out
something I didn't know.
He's taking out the guards. Okay.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's a lie. What would they do? What would I do? No, I'm not a triple black belt. I'll get my ass kicked if I say that out loud to too many people. No. What would be my? Because I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Enough said.
He's from. That's it.
Okay.
And so what? If you could play, you played so many roles. You played so many roles, Paul. If you could play any role, because you're really more of a character actor. You're not. Even though I think you should be a leading man, and I think all of us agree to that you should be a leading man. I mean, you have the strength, the acting chops to be a leading man.
He was a lead in Three Stooges. That was
you were.
He was the through line.
So if you could play, let's say, a historical character, any historical character, it could be a musician, it could be an artist, it could be a politician. If you could play one role in your movie career, what would it be? Who would it be? Actually, who would it be?
Well, the truth is, I've had a few friends tell me I should play this wonderful guy, but he's been played beautifully so many times, Picasso, because I guess I could look like him a little bit, or I could resemble him. I actually did him in a short film years ago, but that's I'm a huge fan of Picasso, so that would be a role. If it comes up in my mind, that's who I think I'd love to play.
So, what do you like better, comedy or drama? What do you enjoy more?
As my grandfather used to say, what do you care what they give you? As long as the check clears in the bank. Am I right?
Yeah, he's right.
I said to him,
when
I got the movie Tombstone many years ago, I was so excited because I got to be in a Western I was going to write horses, and I've always wanted to be in a
You
western.
rode a horse.
Well, that and also another movie called The Last Outlaw with Buscemi and Mickey Rourke, bunch of actors. When I got that, I said, Grandpa, I'm going to be in a western. I'll play a cowboy. Can you believe it? Me, a little kid from Brooklyn, short little Jew guy from Brooklyn, going to be a cowboy. He goes, what's the difference what they give you? Like what they give you, like what you get for lunch. What do you care what they give you as long as the check clears in the bank? Am I right?
What was it
It was
like working on the Irish? Wait a minute. I didn't even ask you guys. He did the Irishman last year with Pacino and De Niro and Scorsese. How did you get this role? Did Scorsese call you personally? How did this happen?
We talk pretty much every day. Yeah, we're good. Well, it's not the greatest story. I mean, I got the roll in vinyl. I sent in a self tape on one of these. I sent in a self tape for vinyl, the TV show, and Scorsese responded to that. And I came in and had a callback, and I got vinyl, and we worked together on that. And he was, oh, God, he was so cool. He was great.
Was he amazing to work with? Wow.
He was amazing. I mean, the story. Yeah, this is fun. When I first went to rehearse, we had a rehearsal. Me, Bobby Cannavale, and one other actor. I forgot his name, but it was vinyl. It was a TV show for HBO. We did one season, and the entire like anybody would love to work with Scorsese. So there were like 90,000 interns from NYU or wherever, and they all had a
Right.
little walkie-talkie, and they were swarming just for the rehearsal period. We were in a hotel, showing up. He had the conference room with nice white tablecloths and coffee and all that, and water, and we sat around these tables. But just the driver pulls up. I got picked up for the rehearsal. They drive me off. There's a little PA, nervous little PAs. Everybody was like working for free or whatever. Paul just pulled up. Paul just pulled up. I get out. They open the door. Paul's walking up to the hotel. I walk up the stairs to the hotel. I kid you not. Another little 12-year-old PA with a little microphone thing, a little walkie.
Oh
Paul just
my
entered. Paul just got
God.
into the hotel. Paul just got into the hotel. I said, "What's going on here?" He had too many PAs,
Oh my
right?
God.
Who were just getting a little credit off their college resume that they worked with once.
Right.
Right this way. We're going to walk into
Little
the
interns.
elevator. I walked into the elevator. I've got Paul. We're on the elevator. I'm just coming in for a fucking rehearsal. Right? Another PA takes me up the elevator to the 7th floor. I get out. Another kid pulls me out. And they're all so nervous because they're all 12 or 18 or 20, whatever they are, in college. And they're all afraid to do the wrong thing. And I'm like, just relax. Could you follow me? Would you like water?
Oh
Would you like
my
coffee?
God.
Would you like something to eat? And then this guy takes me to another place, into the room. The door opens, and I swear there were like 6 walkie-talkie. I felt like the president. You sit
You
down.
felt like Marlon Brando. You felt like,
Now
yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I'm going to meet
Right.
Scorsese.
You're nervous because you're going to be.
And
Exactly.
they're like, everybody's nervous, and I'm
They have
listening.
no idea.
I mean, no, they just think that everybody's worried about doing their job. And I'm hearing down the hall this uproarious laughter, and which Marty has. He's just got, he'll see it and he'll go, oh, ah, ah. It's just this huge laugh. And I'm like, fuck, who is in there cracking him up? I'm going to be boring. He's not going to laugh. I'm going to have nothing funny to say. Somebody is cracking him up. And that's the worst feeling
Oh
through
my
the walls,
God.
like in an audition or a room you're about to go in, and they're cracking
Right.
up. You feel like, what am I going to do to,
What am I going to
he's
say
so-
to make this guy laugh?
that way. He's so wonderful. He's got such a lust for life, and
Yes.
appreciation for everything. Paul, Marty will see you now. And I'm like, okay. I follow him in, and we open this door. It's a beautiful little catering room, and there he is. And I sit right next to him. There's Cannavale and the other wonderful actor. I forgot his name. and we just start hanging out, and the rest was just
start
easy
shooting the
going.
shit.
Just start shooting the shit. He's talking about right away. He says, "So your character, I think, let's see, there's a character. I remember in a Truffaut film back in 1962, and he starts being a historian talking about this, and then I asked him about." Uh, and then he said, well, De Niro and Keitel, they slept on couch together because we shot most of the interiors of Mean Streets, in L.A. because Roger Corman was doing blah, blah, blah. And he just goes off on story after story.
Stories, so many stories.
And there's no rush. There's no rush. We were in there for a good solid 2 hours.
Wow.
Easy. And I said, I think I asked something about Woodstock. He was a cameraman or an editor. I forgot what the fuck he did on Woodstock, but he worked on Woodstock. He's talking about being backstage at Woodstock, and Hendrix was back there with him, and he's a kid. So I'm getting these. I mean, and he's sitting right there, and you're in shock, and I'm half like you want to cry because it's so beautiful that you
can't
get
believe
to
it.
spend a moment with this.
I want to thank my guest today, Paul Ben-Victor, for being on my show. You can see him in the movie Monster, which is streaming right now on Netflix. And to my amazing producer, Alan Tuzinski, thank you for being there. And to my writer, Adam Labarkin, and my composer, Jeff Urban, who composed that amazing song for me. I know you're all home singing it right now. I want to thank you all for leaning in with me today. I'm Lisa Conrad, leaning out.
Lean in, Lisa, put her to the test. Lean in, Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, 'cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.